Now for the doubters. Yes, the rectus abdominis fibers do run from top to bottom. And yes, when you work any region of the abs, all regions will be activated at least to some degree, but that degree can be and is drastically different under a variety of conditions. How is that possible? Well, for one, the tendinous intersections through the abs make it so that each subregion effectively has its own origin and insertion points. Two, different regions of the abs are innervated by different nerves, which allows them to be selectively activated, which is why I'm able to do this, selectively contracting the upper, middle, and lower regions of my abs independently, which has even been proven in EMG studies of belly dancers, which I might take up as a second career. Third, even muscles that are innervated by a single nerve, such as the biceps or triceps, still display region-specific activation and non-homogeneous hypertrophy. Studies have shown that a plethora of factors, including the specific angle of resistance, the type of exercise, the range of motion used, the type of contraction, speed of contraction, and more, all influence which region of a given muscle fiber is worked the most. Let's look at just some of the proof of this for the abs specifically. A 2009 study used EMG recording to show that curl-ups resulted in greater upper ab activation, while a jackknife exercise, which looks similar to this, resulted in greater lower ab activation. Another study by different researchers showed the same upper ab results, but found that lower ab activation was only statistically significantly higher than the upper abs when sufficient posterior pelvic tilt was used. Another study found that the upper and lower abs fatigued at different rates depending on the exercise performed. They concluded that changes in body position and exercise intensity create different demands for the different portions of the rectus abdominis muscle, and exercise variation is an effective method for targeting the different regions. But you may ask, are we sure that different levels of activation actually leads to different amounts of growth? Good question, and yes, we are. For example, one study published just last year used a technology called extended field of view ultrasound to show that there are at least 3 distinct sections of the abs, upper, middle, and lower, and that doing sit-ups at 3 different angles resulted in different amounts of growth, both muscle thickness and length, in each of the 3 regions. And that's with the same exact exercise in all 3 cases, just different angles. So imagine the variation that completely different exercises have on subregion differentiation. Another recent study took it a step further using the same technology to prove that there are actually 4 distinct functional regions of the abs, and that exercises which require movement of the lower body result in significantly more growth in the lower 2 regions than in the upper 2. So the next time that somebody tells you that it's not possible to preferentially work the lower or upper region of the abs, just send them this video. But why are so many people still misled about this despite all the evidence? Well, for example, here's a pretty recent study that had participants perform an upper ab exercise and a lower ab exercise, and ultimately concluded that there was no statistical difference between upper and lower ab thickness as a result. But want to take a guess at what their lower ab exercise was? You got it. Straight leg lifts with the pelvis flat on the bench. So duh, you're not going to find a difference. The lower abs don't attach to the legs. All the abs are doing there is stabilizing the core, which, as we went over, works the upper and lower regions equally.